Hey YouTube, welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for joining in and following us on this journey. Hope you're having a great week and happy Friday to you. You made it. It's been a scorcher of a summer. I actually decided to sit on my front porch to do this video and enjoy the cooler evening, 80 degrees. Supposed to be down in the low 60s tonight. By next week we'll be down in the low 50s and the highs in the 70s. I know it's a teaser. We'll be getting more hot temperatures, I'm sure. So I decided to come out and enjoy it, listen to the birds, watch the sunset, and have a nice glass of cold pink lemonade, Minute Maid, sugar-free. So toast to you. Hopefully you're doing well. It's been a good day today. I had the opportunity to spend most of the day with Festus and discussing a lot of things from faith to HFS ham radio planning, estate planning, and a lot of conversation about things going on in the world. So it was a very enjoyable day. Good to spend time with my brother from another mother. And tomorrow, Miss Lucy and I will be spending most of the day with Brother Otis and Mrs. Otis from Atlanta, who are here in the area. So it's going to be a busy weekend. So I wanted to stop and drop a podcast out for y'all with some thoughts. One of the things that I've always talked about to you is pay attention to what they are saying and pay more attention to what they are doing. Have you noticed in the last week or so, there's been lots of verbiage about peace and peace deals and peace and peace and peace around the world, and the president has been negotiating peace deals, it seems like one a week, with different countries from around the world that are in skirmishes with their neighbors. The White House press page uses the word peace, the press secretary uses the word peace, the president uses the word peace, and this is all good. Years ago, right after I retired from the military, Miss Lucy used to ask me what I wanted for Christmas, and I would always tell her world peace. And I have a little smooth rock laying by my computer monitor that says the word peace on it. Peace is important. It seems like the older I get, the more that I want to see world peace. And the senseless wars around the world that are costing so many their lives in turmoil and the destruction of towns and cities, and the impact on the socioeconomic side of things. And I saw an estimate this morning that said that 1.7 million Ukrainians have died in the 2 to 3 year war with Russia. Think about that, 1.7 million, and the long-term impact this is going to have on that country, from economics to the labor market, socioeconomic birth rates, and so forth, for senseless wars. 1.7 million in 2 to 3 years, when less than 60,000 was the total count of loss of life of American soldiers in the Vietnam War that lasted for years and years. That's one number that is way too many lives lost on a war that appears there was never an intent to win it. and then the ramifications of the things that our troops endured when they came back to the United States. Many of them have never recovered. And the reason I'm bringing this up is we see all these comments about peace and peace and peace and peace deals, and I do believe it's in the heart of the president that he wants to stop all these senseless wars. But at the same time, if you look at what's happening versus what's being said, I read last night or this morning that U.S. fighter jets were flying in the skies over Ukraine. You look at the amount of military hardware movement that has been happening the last 2 to 3 weeks from the United States, with all the military heavy aircraft and the ships that are moving into the Middle East. Now, this isn't necessarily preparing for a war. There is some speculation that there will be a peace deal, and these aircraft are moving people from the Gaza Strip to camps throughout the Middle East and who knows where else. It makes me reflect back to when Bill Clinton was president and we were engaged in Somalia, and there was genocide taking place there, and thousands of Somalians was relocated to Minnesota. Some of them today are elected politicians in the United States government. And I think back to Arab Spring during Obama's reign as president, and when the Arab Spring took place, the millions of Muslims that were relocated from Middle East, not to other Middle Eastern countries in unoccupied camps, but they were relocated into Germany, into the United States. And we know what that history is today. Currently, there is a lot of military movement down in the South and Central America region, with U.S. Navy ships setting up off the coast of Venezuela. I've heard rumblings from three different voices stating that mid-September, maybe around September the 12th, could be the D-Day of the U.S. moving forward militarily against the cartels. How will this possibly result and impact us in America? It could be a coin toss. But the cartels are already in the United States, and the cartels are loaded for bear, and they are highly connected to terrorist organizations that are in hiding in the United States. I believe many of them are in the hills in the northwestern United States, and there are numerous reports of cartels and terrorists in hiding on many of they've basically taken over Indian reservations from everything I'm reading. There also is some speculation that within the next year that Colombia may make a move on Panama. Reports in and around Panama are a lot of negative reports of things taking place there, that life is not as good as it once was. There's a lot of expats in the Panama region. So while these peace deals are awesome, and it would be great for the world if we could have some peace instead of continued wars, all of these possible military actions will come home, whether through other events taking place in the United States, using military force, law enforcement, but also in the economics of things here, the impact. And I don't know about where you're at, but where I'm located, East Tennessee, over the last few weeks, I've noticed in several different grocery stores how the shelves just don't seem to be stocked like they used to be, especially like on a primary shopping day, like on a Saturday morning around 10 o'clock, and go into the grocery store and there's lots of empty shelves, lots of products not just under stock, but that product, there not being any of that product. And it's everything from meats to dairies to canned goods, produce. The produce selections is horrible this year. The tomatoes are horrible. The peppers are horrible. A head of lettuce has gone from its original size to a little bit bigger than a softball. And cauliflower and broccoli is the same. It's like a third of its original size. So things are not what they used to be. Personally, I don't think that we will ever return to where things used to be. I've heard two powerful podcast voices make a comment that life today is not what it was prior to the Big C in 2020, and in 10 years life will not be what it was today. It will be worse, and I'm doing some more research on this topic, and I will try to present a YouTube video on it in the coming weeks. But individuals who have lived outside the United States for more than half of their life, studying cultures, is now looking at where those cultures were at and where the United States is today. And it's kind of alarming. I'm sitting here on my front porch looking at a deer that's 30 feet from me and walking right towards me to cross the street to come into the yard and eat Miss Lucy's flowers and plants. So it just took off running because it heard the birds in the tree. But there's 3 deer standing across the street in my neighbor's yard. And we actually saw some babies this morning. So anyway, I wanted to share those thoughts with you, to be observant to what you see, not just what's taking place around the world involving the United States, but also in your general vicinities. Pay attention to those things because it could be important, because even if it's not in your state or in your region, the ramifications of these things could impact your economic platform, as far as fuel getting in, pharmaceuticals getting in, groceries getting in. So much of what we buy and is trucked and stocked in America comes from China, and China met with India in the last 24 hours, and they basically have a handshake deal, and China is not pleased with the 50% tariff that the United States placed on them, and there appears to be some form of a retaliation being set up. fuel, the cost of fuel has been dropping. The discussion of the Navy down off the coast of Venezuela is about the drug cartel, but when you look at the world picture and you look at how many oil freighters are parked in and around the Strait of Hormuz, loaded with oil, and they can't get through the strait. There's probably 100 to 200 freighters just sitting there. Granted, most of that oil would be headed towards Europe, but if it starts impacting us to the point it's going to impact our national reserves, I know they were working on it, but I don't know if the United States has fully replenished the oil barrels in our strategic inventory. So that may be part of what the bigger picture is down near Venezuela, down in that region. So it's something to keep in mind, and something for future planning. We have a trip coming up the end of September, early October, and I was telling Miss Lucy this morning that the State Department raised the threat level in the country of Mexico from 1 to 2 with travel advisories and so on and so forth. So these are just things that are going on that we all need to pay attention to, because it could impact us at home. So if you like this video, please hit like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and help us push our numbers forward. And be blessed, and most of all, don't forget to give thanks. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal, if you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https://www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.